There are many ways we can add depth, contrast and separation in our images, but why would we want to do that? Now, depth is really important to give that realistic vibe and feel. The reason being is that the world we live in is three-dimensional, but the video that you're looking at right now and the images that you look at are all two-dimensional. So when we add some depth and separation and contrast to our videos or images, we naturally make it feel slightly, a little bit maybe more realistic to the natural eye. So when you look at anything, wherever you are, there are layers of things in space and in distances. But when you're looking at a video straight up, it's just literally two-dimensional. There isn't much going on. So what can we do to create that depth and make our videos look nicer, more cinematic, or more realistic? Probably the easiest and most straightforward way is to shoot with a wide open aperture on your camera, a long focal length, and to get as close as you can to your subject. The perfect example of this is the portrait mode on iPhones. It shoots with a wide open aperture, so f2.8 or lower, and it shoots at around 50 to 65mm, and it tells you what distance you need to be from your subject. So at the moment I've set my lens aperture to f2.8, which is the lowest it goes down to, and I zoomed in at around 60 to 65mm, and that's given me a little bit of separation, but not too much. Another way we can add depth and separation is by using the right lighting and color contrast. So at the moment I've got a key light that is keying me at 45 degrees, but I also have a backlight that's coming in from the other side, and that's creating that nice separation that you can see here. Alright, so I've switched the backlight off. Now you can see that I've lost that separation. Still have a little bit of separation on this side, and that's because I do have some backlights behind me. And it's a good point actually, if I completely switch off all the lights behind me, so I switched the background lights off, and if I switch the desk light off as well, I'm gonna switch on everything back on again so you guys get to see desk light, stereos, and this is with the backlight now fully on. Another way we can add depth and texture to a scene is by using some haze. This is a haze in a can that is quite handy to use. I'm gonna spray a bit of that now so you guys get to see. I usually use a haze machine, but the good thing about this is that you can take it with you outdoors, and it's really useful if it's not windy. I've mentioned haze quite a lot. It's used a lot in events and festivals, and it can really add a bit of atmosphere and a bit of texture to a scene. If you watch the TV series you'll see that they used a lot of haze in a lot of their scenes. Almost every scene that they've shot has a bit of haze in it. Another thing that I'd like to do is to add some props in between myself and the camera. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bit of a prop near the lens from the top in the frame so you get to see what it looks like. Alright, so now I've added my monitor. It could be a plant or anything that you have in the house that you can add between yourself and the lens. You don't want to block too much of the frame, but just a little bit within the frame, that can add a bit of separation and depth. And then the last thing that I usually do to add some depth and separation and interest to my videos, if they're really flat, is to add some blurriness in post-production, especially around the subject and around the edges. And I'll show you exactly how I do that in the next video.